points as we go, but I wanted to spend just a little bit of time. So let's go back to yesterday morning and think through what we've done over the last 2 days a little bit. So, first of all, who was here? Can you find yourself in that photo anywhere? You might be able to. Who was here? Pretty impressive. 121 professionals attended the conference this year. We had 26 agencies or organizations represented. And we had 45 presenters or session leaders come and present sessions. Pretty impressive. So what happened? 29 breakout sessions, 10.5 hours of professional development, give or take a few hours on whether you got actual credit for those resource sessions or not. Okay. Hundreds of PowerPoint slides, dozens of conversations, some of them happened in the dorms, lots of laughter, a few cringes every once in a while with some of the information, and many, many, many great ideas. Oh, how did that slip in? A picture of SDA 2 taking their materials home. I don't know. Yeah, that was an accident, I don't know. We thought they got them all back in the truck, so.
Oh, gee! Keep going.
Okay, so what did we do? We excelled today. We lurked for a while. We tweeted. How many people did tweet? Did anybody tweet?
Yeah.
Some people tweeted, yeah, no, okay. Sorry, Karen, we'll get that. We resourced, we reported, and we were unruly. A little bit more on the more serious note is there was lots of time for networking. We created new collaborations. We strategized, and hopefully everyone learned a great deal of things they can take back to their work. Okay. And we were stronger together. All for the kids, and thank you for bringing somebody who was really photogenic. Sorry more of your photos didn't end up there. He was just too cute. And I love this thing. And I think this is really what we're about, is the quote from Margaret Mead. But I did have some trends that I heard, and so, I don't know, maybe some of these are from more than just the conference. They've been the last few months, but a lot of the things that I heard in the conference, things that I thought I heard presenters saying, things that I thought I heard the keynote saying yesterday morning, and stuff that I put into some reflections. And so I made them the new normal. So the new normal for what CCR&R stands for. Not that don't get anxious about any changes there. This is just kind of a fun, theme, reflective process of what CCR&R stands for. So first of all, cross-sector coordination. I think that's something that we heard over and over again, is working cross-sector. The new normal is about pulling together resources across all the sectors that touch children when they're young and focusing together for outcomes for kids. And we know the theme that we're hearing from the Early Learning Division about what those outcomes look like. Kids ready to learn when they go into kindergarten. Strong and attached families, stable, ready to raise their kids, and a early childhood system that is coordinated and wraps around the child and the family. Those are the themes that we're looking for around cross-sector coordination. And I think it's what our new work is about. Community engagement's the other thing that I heard. And some of these got a little bit forced because I couldn't come up with the right letter. There's no E for equity in CCR&R, but there's equity all over CCR&R. And it really is about community engagement. I think that we're doing a lot of good work, but what I hear is there's still more to be done. There's still communities, there are still certain communities that feel marginalized, that we need to reach out to. I know when we look at our efforts in QRIS, I think that QRIS really, to get it started, I'm stealing this quote from someone that I can't remember who to give credit to, but to get the CCR&R started, we needed an army. And so we recruited an army of the eager and the ready to get it started. And that was what we needed to do. And we've moved, we have a lot of people involved. The last statistics I heard, 25% of licensed programs in Oregon are involved in QRIS, pretty good. But now it's time to move on and maybe engage not as eager and maybe not as ready and in need of more improvement than those first programs that came through. And so I think it's time that we look and we move into making sure that all the communities within your reach are engaged in the activities that you're doing as a child care resource and referral program. R, recognition. And I threw in recognition because I keep hearing this, and I think it's true, that we're in a time where early childhood educators are getting recognized, and the field of early childhood education is being recognized as a profession. And the QRS is serving to put a face and a recognizable infrastructure around early childhood care and education. It's not like public school where you have this one image of what it might look like, or people have, you know, these ideas of buildings and places you go and superintendents and structures and stuff. There's all kinds of forms and types of childcare, but I think QRIS is putting some recognition around the quality within all of those different kinds of forms and creating the infrastructure to do that. But I also think it's about recognizing child care resource and referrals for the effort that you're putting into increasing high quality programs and preparing professionals in the field to be professionals and to work in those high quality programs. And so I do think there's a lot of room for recognition going on, and I think that's one of the things. And I think that we're on the right track in some aspects with that. If we look at some of what participants are telling us from surveys that are programs that are participating in QRIS, is that one of the reasons, I think about more than 75% of the people that we're surveying are saying one of the reasons why they think engaging in QRIS is important is because it's professionalizing the field of early childhood. So they're telling us that. And another the second reason that is almost as 75% of people reporting to is that they're involved so that the quality of their program can be recognized with a designation. So it really is a lot about recognizing early childhood. Oops. And you're learning how to use that. Reflection and flexibility. We heard that from Megan at the keynote, that we need to reflect and we need to be flexible in the things that we come up with as we reflect on our practices. I think that we need to be willing to ask hard questions about what we're doing and be flexible enough to respond when the answers maybe seem overwhelming or difficult to respond to. And I think that that's what we need to do if we really are going to engage all the people out there in the communities that we want to engage. If we're really going to reach the most vulnerable children, the most vulnerable populations, I think that we need to reflect on our practices, ask hard questions, and then be flexible in how we implement strategies and move ahead. I had another R, but there are only two R's in CCR&R, and the other R really related to this one, and it was renovation. It was something that I'd heard Dawn Woods say previously. She said, we're not dismantling the system and rebuilding it. We're just creating some renovations. We want to stick with what's good and working in the system. And that's reassuring to me. I like to remodel. And so when I started working on the 1902 farmhouse that we live in, we didn't start over. We kept some of the really cool stuff. We have really high ceilings and really cool wood floors and some really cool doors. But we created some renovations that we really needed. It was really nice after a few years to have an indoor bathroom and to have electricity that the house didn't come with. And so, not that we're missing those big things in the system, but I do think that it can't be as scary if we recognize what we're already doing well, and that we also recognize that we need to learn from our weaknesses and our failures, and that we're just renovating. We're not tearing the building down and starting over again. Okay, not going to get that one down. Okay. And I really think that we are stronger together. We're stronger together. We're stronger together as a CCR&R network. We're stronger together as a CCR&R network when we partner with our other partners that are out there. All of those different places that are touching kids, we need to be working with all of them. K-12, health, Head Start programs. We need to be working with anybody that's touching young children and collaborating together. And I think we will be stronger together. And I like this quote, not only because it was from Frederick Douglass, so it's endured some time, but it also said stronger in it too. So we're stronger together and we're building stronger children. It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men and women.